5 easy steps to install a ceramic coating and get professional results. Let's find out how. What's up guys? Welcome back to Will's Record channel. So it has been a year since my vehicle was coated with the DIY Detail 8.3 stack ceramic coating. It has been lasting really well considering the condition that this car is in and how I did not use any toppers for the whole year. I have an update video on that. If you're interested, check that out. So after 1 year, I want to try out a new ceramic coating and also use this chance to show you guys just 5 simple steps to get you professionally installed ceramic coating and get really good results just doing it at home, DIY. And currently, ceramic coating is the best way to protect your paint from all the chemicals and elements that your car gets exposed. In the past few years, ceramic coatings have evolved and become a lot more user-friendly, especially to beginners. So you no longer strictly need a professional to install your ceramic coatings and make sure things come out right. You can do it at home by yourself just because of how easy ceramic coatings have become. So I'll leave a couple of ceramic coatings that are very beginner-friendly in the description below. So without further ado, let's get into installing a ceramic coating. So the very first step of ceramic coating is actually the wash. It is nothing special. It's just as simple as any other wash that you would do on your car. Just make sure it's a deeper clean. So especially for wheels, so I'm actually gonna grab some APC and pre-treat this. And for the rest of the car, I'm just gonna do a simple rinseless wash like I've done on this channel 1,000 times. So if you would like to see how to do a simple rinseless wash, I got a video in the description. So we're gonna speed through this. So I got my rinseless bucket right here. We're just gonna do our usual rinseless wash. So I'm gonna start from the roof. And guys, having a platform like this is a game changer. I used to just use a little ladder. This one, you can walk left and right on it. I don't need to move this after a section on the roof, especially having a car this big. I can just have it set here and I can pretty much cover the whole roof. It's just a lot more convenient. So for those of you who don't really know what ceramic coating is for, it's basically a layer of protection that is long lasting, by the way. It's not like the traditional wax that lasts, a week after rain, it's just gone. Ceramic coatings are here to stay for years if you take care of it. And what it does is that it will protect your paint from the elements such as bird poop, bug guts, and all kinds of chemicals from the environment. They'll also help reduce scratches. It will not prevent scratches. Don't believe what the dealership salesmen tell you. It will not prevent scratches, but it will help reduce it, just slight little marrings, because it makes the surface tension a little less. So when things are rubbing on it, it is less likely to cause scratching. So it reduces the surface tension. That also means the dirt will have a harder time sticking onto your paint surface because it has been protected by the ceramic coating. So that is a major benefit to have ceramic coatings, is that your car will be cleaner, just in general. And whenever it rains, you'll notice your car is getting cleaner from just the rain. All right, so the car body is clean. We gotta clean the wheels too. Now the wheels, I just recently did a wheel cleaning video as to how much time do you really need to spend on cleaning your wheels. Now today we're ceramic coating, including the wheels. So we gotta do the most cleaning we can do, which is my level 3 cleaning. Do an APC. And since we're deep cleaning, we're gonna go straight into the wheel barrel. And what I like so much about this barrel blade is that it's actually bendable. So I have it bend one way a little bit like this, so I can get behind the spoke and actually scrub the space behind the spoke. So now the car is all washed, we're going to step 2, which is decontamination. Now, your car is washed, but there are some contaminations on the paint that you cannot get rid of by just washing. So what you need is a clay towel like this. I like to use a clay towel instead of a clay bar just because they're easy to use in my opinion. I can use it with an iron remover. So the iron remover will melt away the rust around the contamination, and the decon towel will remove the contamination itself. So I can finish 2 steps with just one simple action. So if you ever gotten a quote from a detailer for how much a ceramic coating would be, it's expensive. And it makes total sense because the part about ceramic coating that's really time consuming is not the ceramic coating itself, it's the prep, just like what we're doing right now. Before ceramic coating, there are 3 steps that we need to complete. And we're only at step 2 right now. However, these are not hard steps. They're just time consuming steps that if you're willing to take the time to do, it should not be hard. So if you're willing to spend the time to do this and what the simple steps are, then you can totally do this too and save that money. So you're worried about this clay towel scratching your paint? I can assure you, it will not if you use it correctly. So using a proper lubrication like this iron remover from DIY Detail is designed to be used like this. It will not scratch your paint. I've done a test on a black hood. I'll show the video. Your paint would totally be safe from this method. And all you need to do is just don't use pressure and just let the clay towel do its work, let it glide, and let the lubrication help your towel glide. So I finished cleaning the whole car, and I only used about less than a quarter of a bottle of iron remover. If I was gonna spray this whole car with iron remover, it would probably use more than half, possibly even the whole iron remover since it's a 3-row SUV. So using it with a clay towel like this is definitely a lot more efficient. Now, everything's clayed and iron decon, I'm gonna rinse this car off. So for those of you who are concerned that a clay towel will damage ceramic coatings, my car is ceramic coated right now, and take a look at the water beading. I don't see any degradation at all. And I clayed this twice now using this method, so it's totally safe on ceramic coating surfaces. So with the iron remover and the decon towel done, your decon step is finished. But there is an optional step that you can take is using a water spout remover, especially if your car has been parked around sprinklers and getting exposed to hard water. This will be helpful. So what we'll be doing is just spray on the water spout remover onto your car, a couple of sprays per panel. So get it on the surface, and then on the other hand, I have a dampened towel, just a microfiber with either rinseless or water. You want to squeeze this out pretty well. So this is just lightly dampened. Now you can use this to rub in the water spout remover that you just sprayed on. So this will help the water spout remover work, and the agitation will make the chemical eat that mineral that's on your paint a little better. Now again, this step is optional because the clay towel will still do the majority of the work of the decontamination. Now the water spout remover is just an extra add-on that you can put onto your paint to make sure that it is very much cleansed. And you can do the same thing on your wheels too. So treating this whole car with a water spout remover does use half of the bottle. So this is why I say this is more of an as needed basis, it's optional. If you only use it if you really need it. So after it's all rubbed in, you do want to rinse this off. So make sure all that water spout remover is thoroughly rinsed off of the vehicle. You don't want to see any white sudsing on the surface. So now we're finished with the decon step, but before we move on to the next step, we want to dry the whole car. Because what we're going to do next is polishing. And when you polish, you want your car to be squeaky dry. That doesn't make sense. You want your car to be absolutely dry. By the way, this towel is a Diva towel from the House of Rags. It is absolutely amazing. Definitely my favorite towel so far. It's just drying like a dream. And for complicated shapes like this, you guys already know, my favorite little tool is the turbo fan. So I just blow the water into the towel like that. So when I'm polishing, water doesn't drip out. So now that the car is thoroughly dried, we can move on to our next step, which is the polishing step. This is going to be the most important step before ceramic coating because the polishing is less so to remove scratches, more so to remove whatever is on the paint. So when you apply the ceramic coating, you're making sure that the ceramic coating is bonding straight onto the clear coat and nothing in between. So polishing will remove everything that's in between and make sure your ceramic coating gets the best bond to the paint. Now you can use a polisher like this, but if you don't have one, this will do too. This is an orbital sander that you might have one laying in your shop. This will work perfectly. In fact, last time I ceramic coated this car, this is all I used. I didn't have a polisher then. So you put a 5-inch pad and you can just go ahead. So since we're just doing a light polishing, all we will be using is a DIY Detail Gold Standard pad. This is a nice one-step pad. It's not too aggressive, it's not too soft, and it will remove the coating that's on the surface right now. And we'll be using the Gold Standard polish. This is a system that's very, very beginner friendly. So if you haven't checked out my how to polish video, I'll have it linked in the description. That should help you get started on polishing your car and get comfortable with it. But it is not hard at all. Doing 1 to 2 passes with the Gold Standard polish, it will get your paint squeaky shiny. And to wipe off the polish, I got a rinseless dampen towel right here. This is run out very well, so it's barely wet. And this will help remove the polishing oils. And you can follow it with a fluffy dry towel like this, and that should remove everything. So just from that quick polish, I can see the paint is already shining a lot more. You never really know how much oxidation is on your paint, which is inevitable, until you really polished it and then see what it looks like after, because this shine, I haven't seen it in a while. So again, we're not doing the paint correction here, we're just doing a light polish to prep it for the ceramic coating. All right, so polishing is all done. So now I'm just using my rinseless dampen towel and my dry buffing towel to wipe off all the polish residue. So now that the paint is completely polished and wiped off, it's ready to accept the ceramic coating, but not just yet. Because ceramic coatings, they usually come with a product called a panel prep. This is a solution that you want to wipe on the surface right before you apply the ceramic coating. So what it does is it will remove all polishing residue or any other chemicals that could interfere with the bonding of ceramic coatings. So that is the one last thing you need to do right before the ceramic coating. It's very easy to use. All you need to do is you spray on your towel, and then you would just wipe on your panel like this, and then give it a quick clean up. And that paint will be fully ready for a ceramic coating. So you just need to wipe down the whole car like this. That'll make sure your ceramic coating gets the most direct bonding to your clear coat. And there's also another option for those of you who wants even better bonding and more longevity, and that's the adhesion promoter. So this is from C6 Ceramics. Now they make this to be compatible with all ceramic coatings on the market. So if you're not using a C6 ceramic coating, you can still use this. Now how they teach you to use this is actually with the orbital sander like this. And you also want to use a very soft pad that's very pliable, like the DIY Detail red jeweling pad. And you don't need much of this thing. So you just squeeze 2 to 3 drops of this product. This might even be a little too much. So just like that, that should last you a long while for this car. So you would just use this to apply it onto the surface, and you're not polishing at this point. You're just spreading the product onto the paint. So the tricky thing about this adhesion promoter is knowing when you need more and when you have enough. So right now, I'm pressing down on the paint and I'm seeing I'm leaving some residue. So that indicates that I still have enough. So as long as you're running this and is leaving a snail trail, so you can see the snail trail I left behind here, that tells me that I have enough still. I don't need to add more. And if I do need to add more, I add a drop and a half at most. So you do not want to use too much of this product. The reason why you don't want to add too much of this product is because it will make wipe off a lot harder. So this is supposed to be very easy to wipe off. Let's take the towel. All removed. So it's supposed to be a very easy wipe off, just like this. But if you apply too much, then it will be a harder time to remove all of this. All right guys, so after the app or the panel prep is applied, we can finally move on to the ceramic coating part. And by the way, for this giant car, I used less than 10 drops of this. And even so, in some parts I still use too much. But now with the ceramic coating, you wanna have your ceramic coating, your applicator, and 2 towels to wipe up after. And if you haven't been wearing gloves this whole time, make sure that for this part, you are absolutely wearing gloves because this is some very strong chemicals. And the coating itself is in this tiny little bottle. And to start, you just drop about 10 drops on the pad. This is gonna be the most you put on the pad this whole time. You want your applicator to be slightly more saturated. And to apply, you just I like to do a circular motion. So I'm just kind of drawing a box of where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do this third of the hood, and you should be able to see a trail left behind. And you don't need to go over the same area twice. Just make sure that trail is left behind and then just leave it. Make sure you get every spot of the surface wherever you're coating. And I always like to go over the line, the body line. So I'm always over applying, and there'll never be a spot that I'm missing. And since I'm outdoors, the ceramic coating is flashing very quickly. It looks like at this point, 50% of that coating has dissipated. I can wipe off. So if you're working outdoors, you just gotta know that you gotta be wiping off a lot quicker than if you were in a controlled environment. And a lot of it also depends on the day, whether it's humid or dry. The flash off time will be different. And then we go with the second towel to do an insurance wipe, just to make sure that we didn't miss anything. So for the next portion, I drop a little bit more onto my applicator. And again, box my area. And just fill it in. and I have Taylor helping me because ceramic coating is just so much easier when there's two people, one person applying and one person wiping off. It makes the process so much smoother. But if you don't have a second person helping you, you can totally do it by yourself. It just will take a little longer. So for ceramic coating your wheels, you absolutely do not need a separate coating just for your wheels. I just happen to have this, so I want to try it out. So again, before you apply your coating, shake it really well and give it a couple drops and just wipe it on. So I can see this starting to sweat, so I think that's ready to be wiped off. A light on my hand like this, just so I know I'm not leaving any high spots. And this light, very cheap in Walmart. I think about $10, $13. You can just get it at your local Walmart. It's honestly very high quality, very useful. So just thoroughly wipe off your wheel and make sure there's no high spots. All the surfaces are looking even. There's no blemishes, because that's usually what high spots look like. It'll look like a blemish. All right guys, so it's been 2 weeks since the car is coated, and honestly it's been sitting out under a tree outside 24/7 for 2 weeks straight. Car is staying very clean, and that's the big benefit of ceramic coatings. So let's spray some water on while the car is dirty and see what the water behavior is like, because I am curious. Impressive. So the car is dirty. I haven't washed it yet. That's very impressive. Look at all the tight water beads. That's crazy how much they're standing. I gotta get a shot of this. Now, of course, not every coating will be just as hydrophobic as this, but the majority of them will basically be the same. So let's give it a quick wash and let's see what it looks like after. Let's see the vertical panel. I mean, I can watch that all day. So that's insane. That is leaving the panel completely dry. Not a single drop of water over here. That's insane. Not a single drop of water. This panel is dry, just as is, if it wasn't for the stripping. So there you guys go. Those are 5 simple steps to ceramic coat your car and get professional results. Now the steps are not hard, but it does take time. And those steps preparing the car for ceramic coating is honestly the more important part, because that will ensure the ceramic coating bonds to the paint correctly. That way you get the full longevity of that ceramic coating. Now let's talk about the ceramic coating I used. This is one of the top of the line coatings out there, and the price does reflect so. This is at $300. So if you're more budget conscious and don't care about getting the latest technology out there, then I honestly don't recommend this one, because the price is just a little hard to justify. Now, if you still want that great quality and that updated ease of application, then I recommend these over here. This is a DIY Detail 8-year ceramic coating. The 8-year coating and the 5-year coating are both really good and known for their ease of application and also longevity. And each of those come in at $160 and $100. But if you want something even more budget friendly, the Armor Detail Supply quartz coating here is also a great quality coating at $80. Now, the ease of application is not as easy as the DIY Detail ones, but this one is still pretty easy and is very user-friendly as well. And it applies very similarly to this wheel coating that I installed on my wheels, which is very hydrophobic at the moment. I'm very happy with the results. We'll see in a couple months. Now, the app, I can't really speak to the effectiveness of it in terms of longevity, but what I can say is it does make applying the coating a slightly smoother experience. The coating kind of gets absorbed into the surface, it kind of self-levels a little more, I noticed, and that does help with wipe off and preventing high spots. So that's what I can say about the app right now, and it is claimed to be compatible with every ceramic coating out there. But if you don't care about the app and don't have the time, then a regular panel prep will do just fine. Just get it from whichever coating brand you got and match it up that way. So you make sure the panel prep will be compatible with the coating. So let me know if you have any questions down below. Ceramic coating can seem intimidating in the beginning, but once you actually try it, it is not that hard. So if you have the time, definitely do it for your own vehicle. And it does not matter how old or how beat up your car is. Once you get it cleaned up, paint is paint. So you can definitely coat any car you want as long as you care about it. It's not just for the expensive luxury cars like social media shows. So don't be afraid. Now, if you have any questions, leave them down below. I'll make sure to get to them. And in the meantime, if you enjoy this content, please leave me a subscribe and comments and like. That will really help me out a lot. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.